Sunshine Fam. Happy holidays. Hi. I thought I'd start it a little bit interesting today. How's your holidays going? We're expecting a winter storm in the next few days. So I'm not looking forward to that because I have to work the next few days. And they're talking 4 to 8 inches of snow and really cold weather and then winds 40 to 50 miles an hour. So I'm not looking forward to that. But at least I'm off for the weekend, which is good. So for those of you that are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Chloe. And if you could do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button below and the notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And also, if you can like and comment, I would really appreciate the comments, especially in today's video, because I'm going to ask you to comment towards the end of the video about what I'm talking about today, which is about different holidays that are celebrated in the different religions around the world. And especially here in the US. So anyway, welcome to my channel. And if you are subscribed and you're a new subscriber, welcome to the Sunshine Fam, which is what I call my fans. So, and please share this with other people too that might be interested in learning about the holidays at this time of year. So we are going to start today with Kwanzaa, which I don't know if it's even celebrated much anymore, but I did a lot of research on the different holidays, so you're learning along with me. So it is celebrated, Kwanzaa is celebrated by the African American culture from December 26th until January 1st. The communal feast was called Kamanu on The communal feast is called Kamanu, and it's celebrated on the 6th day. It was created by activist Molana Karenga. Now, please do not be upset if I am mispronouncing these names. It was based on the harvest festival traditions from various parts of West and Southeast Africa. It was first celebrated in 1966, created after the Watts riots. Now, I did look up the Watts riots, and I think I put that information in here. Yes, I did. Okay. So I will get to that in just a moment. Karenga was a major figure in the Black Power movement of the 60s and 70s. And he said, you must have a cultural revolution before the violent revolution. The cultural revolution gives identity, purpose, and direction. Kwanzaa, it derives from the Swahili phrase, okay, I'm going to butcher this, I'm sure, Matunda yi Kwanzaa, meaning first fruits. Karenga added the extra A, because Kwanzaa in this phrase was spelled K-W-A-N-Z-A. So Karenga added the extra A to give it a symbolic 7 letters. So the Watts riots, Watts is a community in Los Angeles, and Marquette Pry was 21, and he was arrested for alleged DUI by a white officer. Riots went on for 6 days from August 11th to August 16th of 1965. 3,438 people were arrested and 1,032 were injured. So that's about the Kwanzaa holiday. There wasn't really a lot about it. That made no sense. A lot. Sorry, you know that I sometimes misspeak. So that's about Kwanzaa. So I don't know if any of you guys celebrate Kwanzaa, but that's the history of Kwanzaa. So the next holiday we're going to be talking about is Hanukkah, which is called the Festival of Lights. This is celebrated by the Jewish community. It is a Jewish festival commemorating the recovery of Jerusalem and subsequent rededication of the Second Temple at the beginning of the Maccabean revolt against the I don't even know how to pronounce this, Seleucid Empire in the 2nd century BCE, before Christ. The celebration goes on for 8 days and nights, starting on the 25th day of Kislev in the Hebrew calendar. So technically today, which is the 20th of, or was it yesterday? Actually, it was yesterday, December 19th of 2022, was the first day of Hanukkah. So if you celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. It can be from late November to late December in the Gregorian calendar. Each day is observed by lighting candles on a menorah or a Hanukkah. It's also called a Hanukkah, but the menorah, I'm sure you're very familiar with that. It's like a candelabra that has 8 branches. It's got one main stick, and then it's got, I don't know. You know what a menorah looks like. It's basically a candelabra that they use for the lighting of the candles. One branch is either above or below the others and is used to light each candle. So you light the first candle, the middle candle first. It's either going to be above or below the other candles, and then each candle is lit by that first candle. The festivities include singing Hanukkah songs, playing the game of dreidel, and eating oil-based foods like latkes and safganiot and dairy foods. I could be mispronouncing some of these words, so please do not butcher me for that. If you know the correct pronunciation, if you could spell it phonetically in the comments below, I would really appreciate it. Hanukkah means to dedicate. So that's the Hanukkah celebration. Now, I have a coworker that is Islamic or Muslim, and I asked him if it was okay for me to talk about their holiday, and he said that was perfectly fine. And as a matter of fact, the Muslims do celebrate Christmas, but they don't celebrate it as the birth of Christ as the Savior. They consider Jesus to be a prophet, kind of the way the Jewish people celebrate it. And am I still going? Okay, I'm still going. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. So in the Muslim community, it's called Eid al-Fitr, or I think it's al-Fitr, maybe, or Fitr, F-I-T-R, I think is what I spelled, and Eid al-Adha. It is a Muslim holiday, and it's 10 holy days or nights. Eid al-Fitr is Ramadan, and that's the last 10 nights. Wait a minute, what? I wrote this down a while ago, so if I do not mean to offend anybody, obviously. Eid al-Adha is Du al-Hijjah, which is the first 10 days. So it must be, what? That doesn't make any sense because it says 10 holy days or nights. So it must be 20 days, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comments below. The night of power is one of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and it's the holiest night of the year. The day of Arafah is the day before Eid al-Adha, and it is the holiest day of the Islamic year. Friday is the holiest day of the week, and Friday prayers, or the Jummah, again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, so please forgive me, are congregational prayers held in mosques. Muslims are encouraged to wear clean and refined clothes, perfume, and bathe. It is customary to eat special meals with family on this day. Now, when I did ask my coworker if Ramadan is celebrated at this time of year, he said sometimes it can be, but normally Ramadan is celebrated in March or April. So it's not technically a holiday at this time of year, but he said that it can be celebrated at this time because they also go by the lunar calendar rather than the Gregorian calendar. So it depends on when it falls on the lunar calendar. There is fasting. So Muslims celebrate when the Quran was revealed to Muhammad by fasting from dawn to sunset during Ramadan. They deny themselves food, water, and all related sexual activity with their spouses, and those with medical conditions and children are exempt from fasting. Muslims do believe, as I said, Muslims do believe in Jesus, and some celebrate Christmas similar to Christians. So now we get to Christmas, which everybody is very familiar with. So it was originally called the Feast of the Nativity. So I asked, why is it December 25th? Well, the Roman Christian historian Sextus Julius Africanus dated the conception date to March 25th, which makes 9 months later equal to December 25th. In Luke 1, 26 through 38, it says, in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, so I didn't find what month of the calendar she conceived. And I asked one of my friends and I never heard back from her. So I'm not sure exactly when Elizabeth conceived. I always thought that it said in the 6th month. I don't remember it saying Elizabeth's pregnancy. So I would think if it was the 6th month and we measure that by today's calendars, that would have been June. And if you count forward, that would have made it March that she would have delivered Jesus. Mary would have delivered Jesus. But it says in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, according to Luke 1, 26 through 38. Christmas celebrates the birth of Jesus. Mary was reported to be 16 and was engaged to Joseph, a carpenter. She was immaculately conceived, which means the angel came down to her. She did not have sexual relations with Joseph. The Holy Spirit came upon her and impregnated her. Now that is a very big mystery, and a lot of people question, oh, how can that happen? We won't know until we get to heaven, right? So Jesus is believed to be the Son of God and the Son of Man because he was born of Mary. The giving of gifts represents the gifts the three kings gave to Jesus: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So I looked this up. Gold represents wealth, which is kingship. Frankincense is perfume, which means worship. So that was the worshiping part of it. And myrrh is an ointment used for the burial process, which would have been representative of Jesus' death. So I looked up information about the Christmas tree. So the Cook pine is native to the Cook Islands in northeast of Australia. It is the symbol of eternal life. The legend states that after Jesus was born, some trees shook off the snow to show the green and mark the event. I'd never heard that before. Branches and shrubs are said to symbolize the crown of thorns worn by Jesus. Being triangular represents the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It was first decorated during the 16th century in Germany, symbolizing spring was coming. Now, the way that they used to decorate Christmas trees was they would decorate it with candles. Now, if you think of a live Christmas tree and how dry they can get, I would think candles would be very, very dangerous to have on a live Christmas tree. Maybe they put them outside. I don't know. Where the tree was still in the ground. Obviously, they probably would have cut them down at that point. So I did not write this down because I just looked it up just now, but we all know about Santa Claus, right? So, I think this is right. No. What happened here? Okay. I don't know how that happened. Okay. So, speaking about Santa Claus, let me see how much time I have left here on my camera. I'm at 14 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to stop it at this point, and then I'll start it again. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. You know that my camera only goes till 18 minutes, so I want to make sure I have enough time. Okay, so I looked up Santa Claus. So from Wikipedia, Santa Claus was also known as Father Christmas, Saint Nicholas, Saint Nick, Kris Kringle, or simply Santa. He is a legendary character originating in Western Christian culture who is said to bring children gifts during the late evening and overnight hours on Christmas Eve, of toys and candy or coal or nothing, depending on whether they are naughty or nice. In the legend, he accomplishes this with the aid of Christmas elves who make the toys in his workshop, often said to be at the North Pole, and flying reindeer who pull his sleigh through the air. The modern character of Santa is based on folklore traditions surrounding St. Nicholas, the English figure of Father Christmas, and the Dutch figure of Sinterklaas. Santa is generally depicted as a portly, jolly, white-bearded man, often with spectacles, wearing a red coat with white fur collar and cuffs, white fur cuffed red trousers, red hat with white fur, and black leather belt and boots, carrying a bag full of gifts for children. He is commonly portrayed as laughing in a way that sounds like ho ho ho. This image became popular in the United States and Canada in the 19th century due to the significant influence of the 1823 poem A Visit from St. Nicholas. Caricaturist and political cartoonist Thomas Nast also played a role in the creation of Santa's image. This image has been maintained and reinforced through song, radio, television, children's books, family Christmas traditions, films, and advertising. So if we go to the history, the origins of Santa Claus, early representations of the gift giver from church history and folklore, especially St. Nicholas, merged with the English character Father Christmas to create the mythical character known to the rest of the English-speaking world as Santa Claus, a phonetic derivation of Sinterklaas in Dutch. In the English and later British colonies of North America and later in the United States, British and Dutch versions of the gift giver emerged further. For example, in Washington Irving's History of New York in 1809, Sinterklaas was angelicized into Santa Claus, a name first used in the U.S. press in 1773, but lost his bishop's apparel and was at first pictured as a thick-bellied Dutch sailor with a pipe and a green winter coat. Irving's book was a parody of the Dutch culture of New York, and much of this portrait is his joking invention. Irving's interpretation of Santa Claus was part of a broader movement to tone down the increasingly wild Christmas celebrations of the era, which included aggressive home invasions under the guise of wassailing. Here we come, a wassailing. Substantial premarital sex leading to shotgun weddings in areas where the Puritans, waning in power and firmly opposed to Christmas, still held some influence, and public displays of sexual deviancy. The celebrations of the era were derided by both upper-class merchants and Christmas pursuits. Okay, in 1821, the book A New Year's Present to the Little Ones from 5 to 12 was published in New York. It contained Old Santa Claus with Much Delight, an acronym poem describing Santa Claus on a reindeer sleigh bringing rewards to children. Some modern ideas of Santa Claus seemingly become canon after the anonymous publication of the poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, better known today as The Night Before Christmas, in the Troy, New York Sentinel on December 23, 1823. Clement Clark Moore later claimed authorship though some scholars argue that Henry Livingston Jr., who died 9 years before Moore's claim, was the author. Saint Nick is described as being chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf with a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly, in spite of which the miniature sleigh and tiny reindeer still indicate that he is physically diminutive. The reindeer were also named Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Dunder, and Blixen. Dunder and Blixen came from the old Dutch words for thunder and lightning, which were later changed to the more German-sounding Donner and Blitzen. Interesting. I'm learning about this too. In 1845, Kris Kringle was a common variant of Santa in parts of the United States. A magazine article from 1853 describing American Christmas customs to British readers refers to children hanging up their stockings on Christmas Eve for a fabulous personage whose name varies. In Pennsylvania, he is usually called Krish-Kinkle, but in New York, he is St. Nicholas or Santa Claus. The author quotes Moore's poem in its entirety, saying that its descriptions apply to Krish-Kinkle too. As the years passed, Santa Claus evolved into a large, heavy-set person. One of the first artists to define Santa Claus' modern image was Thomas Nast, an American cartoonist of the 19th century who immortalized Santa Claus with an illustration for the January 3rd, 1863 issue of Harper's Weekly, in which Santa was dressed in an American flag and had a puppet with the name Jeff written on it. Oh my God, that's too funny. I know, some of you are laughing because you know what I'm thinking. Reflecting its Civil War context, in this drawing, Santa is also in a sleigh pulled by reindeer. Okay. Now, for those of you in the paranormal field, there is another... let me see if I can look him up too. I'm trying to think of what he's called. There's another character that comes around. Let's see. Who is the... Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Krampus. That's who it is. I should have known that. Okay. So there's an evil side to Santa Claus. And he's supposed to work kind of side by side with Santa Claus. His name is Krampus. And he is a horned anthropomorphic figure in the central and eastern alpine folklore of Europe, who, during the Advent season, scares children who have misbehaved. Assisting St. Nicholas or Santa Claus, the pair visit children on the night of December 5th, with St. Nicholas rewarding the well-behaved children with modest gifts such as oranges, dried fruit, walnuts, and chocolate, while the badly behaved ones only receive punishment from Krampus with birch rods. The origin of the figure is unclear. Some folklorists and anthropologists, have postulated it as having pre-Christian origins. In traditional parades and in such events as the Krampuslauf, English Krampus Run, young men dressed as Krampus attempt to scare the audience with their antics. Such events occur annually in most alpine towns. Krampus is featured on holiday greeting cards called Krampuskarten. So basically, the figure has been imported into American popular culture and has appeared in movies, TV, and video games. Basically, what he does is he takes the children away and eats them, the bad kids. So he's very popular in the paranormal field, which is probably why most of you probably have never heard of him. So he's the scary guy. So that's Krampus. So in the comments below, I would greatly appreciate you telling everybody which holiday do you celebrate at this time of year. If you celebrate anything besides Christmas, or even if you do celebrate Christmas, tell me what songs are popular with you, what songs you like at this time of year. If you're Jewish, what kind of songs do you sing? I don't know if any songs are sung during Kwanzaa. Obviously, Ramadan is technically celebrated at this time of year, but if you do happen to be Muslim or Islamic, what kind of songs are sung during Ramadan? What kind of traditions do you do in your family at this time of year? No matter what celebration or what holiday you celebrate. Would love to know that. So please fill up the comments below and let me know what kind of celebrations you guys do. Do you celebrate Christmas? Do you celebrate Kwanzaa? Do you celebrate Hanukkah? What kind of things do you guys do with your families? What kind of foods do you eat? What do you prepare? You know, do you commercialize, if you celebrate Christmas, do you commercialize it more? And do you get upset if you don't get the gifts you want? Which really, that's not what it's all about, but I've done a video about that before. So would love to know what you celebrate. I personally celebrate Christmas. We have already celebrated our Christmas when the kid's father was in town from Florida, and it went very, very well. And so we've already had our Christmas, so I kind of feel like Christmas is over. And actually, I can show you one of the gifts that I got from Sea Dog. I got this little thing. It's kind of a snow globe. I was looking for some more batteries to put in it. I don't know if you can tell that it's got little glitter in there, but the batteries died in it. But it lights up, and there's a fan on the bottom that circulates the glitter on there. And if you flip it to the other side, it does the same thing, but it also plays Christmas tunes, six different Christmas tunes. Now, there is a difference between Christmas songs and winter songs, which I personally think winter songs should be played well past Christmas, such as Jingle Bells and Frosty the Snowman and Let It Snow, Baby It's Cold Outside, Winter Wonderland. There's a lot of winter songs that usually are associated with Christmas, but really they don't really mention Christmas. They're more of winter songs, which can be celebrated by anybody. So what's your favorite Christmas song? What's your favorite winter song? What's your favorite song from your holiday? I would love to know. So please fill up those comments below and let me know what you think about this video, about what holiday you celebrate, what you do for the holiday that you celebrate. Would love to know that. Get to know you guys more. And so hopefully in 2023, I will be able to make more videos. More Adventures with Chloe videos, and hopefully finish up my presidential highlight videos as well, up until Biden, of course. Once he's out of office, then I'll probably do his, but it'll go through Trump. Right now I'm working on the one for Bush Sr. I don't think I've written his stuff out yet. I may have. I don't know. I'd have to look at my notebook. I don't think I have. But I've been going through a little bit of depression lately, and so I won't get into that here because it's supposed to be a jolly time of the year, right? It's the most wonderful time of the year. So anyway, thanks for joining me today for talking about different holidays that are celebrated in December at this time of year. And I look forward to hearing back from you guys. But in the meantime, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Ramadan. It's not going to be celebrated at December this year, 2022, but when you celebrate Ramadan, Happy Ramadan, or Merry Ramadan, I don't know how you say it, or whatever celebration you do. If you even do a celebration, maybe you're agnostic, maybe you're atheist, and you don't believe in this stuff, but it's interesting to learn about different holidays that are celebrated by the different religions. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Wishing you all a very happy holidays. And we will be seeing you guys a lot more in 2023. So you guys have a sunny day. See you on the next one.